Hey, what the fuck is up, guys? So, they just released a new patch, 8.10 update notes, and we're going to be taking a look at that. So, the new god being released is Cliodhna, I believe, the Queen of Banshees. Her passive is pretty cool. This allows her to go into walls. It looks like it has a 16-second cooldown. She takes damage every zero point 0.5 seconds, and I believe that scales up the intensity of damage. She can not enter a wall while below 25% health or crippled. Won't sight a wall for 5 seconds after exiting. She gains 10% physical ability lifesteal. Pretty good, I kind of want to do just an overview on her later. She has a Screaming Banshee Wail, Flicker Vision. This is a dash, I think. No, this is her line projectile that makes her invisible if she hits somebody. Then this is her dash, Lurking Claw, and then her ultimate, which is a trap. Really cool god. I'll go over later if you want to see any of this. Just, I guess, pause and then go through and read it. As for skins, it looks like we have 3 for the new god. A Beast Seer Artio. I like this Baron Samedi skin. I think that's kind of cool. Lackluster Ares skin. I like that Cupid one. Wise Guy Cupid. I wonder if we can. You know what? Okay, this is really loud. This is really loud. I know you guys can't hear it because I don't have desktop audio on. Um, oh, that's loud. That's loud. Let me take off my headset and I'll put it over the mic for you.
Oh, look at all these people coming to our speakeasy. Well, welcome.
Yeah, I guess. Oh my God, please stop. It's so loud. It's so loud. Um, yeah, maybe I should add desktop audio next time. Anyway, Oracle Zeus looks kind of cool. Chibi, Izanami, all right. Merlin skin, kind of a cool. Um, oh, that's the new god skin. Okay, I thought that was an Izanami skin for some reason. Yeah, I mean all of them are decent, I guess. Kumbhakarna. I like Guardian skins. I think they're usually the coolest. Um, Details. This is just update release schedules and stuff. Not really too crazy. Quality of life, pause, cooldown changes. Just allowing you to pause after DCs a little bit quicker, and decreased combat timer for rank pauses with no DC from 3 seconds to 2 seconds. Yeah, so just quality of life change right there. As for some bug fixes, looks like it's some UI stuff, some visual things. Jungle bosses cannot be body blocked now by like Bastet cats or Arachne spiders. Kumbhakarna general special emote, something for his emote. Soul no longer gain heat off of immune targets. That one I think is pretty big. If you're a soul player. Hui dive bomb, just some visual changes. Artio, incorrect mana cost displayed, and then Thanatos scythe being able to be thrown horizontally. The only real thing that I think is impactful is the soul one, because you can kind of gain heat off of just some jungle buffs by hitting them immune and backing them out. It's kind of a small thing, but it does affect her playstyle and makes her a little bit worse. It looks like for the Joust map, we're getting a XP spooling. I've said multiple times, it's worthless to shoot for level 20 starter items, just because games don't really last that long. So they're increasing the split of XP, and I believe, is it just XP? I think it's just XP spooling. Increase the tankiness of the Bull Demon King to better match modern Smite jungle bosses. Interesting. But yeah, they're increasing some XP split by, it looks like, 10%. It goes from 65 to 75, so by, I guess, 0.1 spooling. Fix various issues with abilities, could travel to areas outside the map. Oh, yeah. With that, I had a Persephone ult kind of fly outside the map that one time. Bull Demon King has some increased health. Physical protections increased on him, and magical protections. That's kind of interesting. These changes apply to both Joust and Duel, although XP splitting won't apply. Conquest updates. I'm not super interested in Conquest myself, so if you want to pause right over here. Conquest gets changes every single patch as well. New mechanics, you can destroy lanterns and whatnot. Green buff got some buffs because green buff was kind of trash. I like the snow update for Conquest though. And some item changes, so increased damage mitigations from 5% to 10% on Elixir Defense. That was probably the least chosen Elixir. DPS, gods are enjoying the Elixir, which felt distinctly more powerful than the defensive one. Yeah, so they're just buffing that to make it a little bit more in line. Sigil of Warding. Solo lane has been through quite a journey, especially with their items at the start of the season. We introduced a variety of more defensive items to the lane, but now we are seeing even more focus on power, especially with the new meta start of the solo lane killing the blue buff by themselves. We are reworking the entire sigil tree to have physical power for this reason. Okay. We should see we should see this better compete with Bluestone Pendant, and then even plan to go through a similar design with the design pass with the Warrior Axe. Okay, so just being redesigned a little bit. So 600 gold, 75 health, 15 physical power, 10 magical protections, 10 physical protections. When you're hit by an ability, you gain a stack of dampening. It looks like it's the same passive. 200 health, 35 physical power, 75 magical protections, 45 physical protections. When you're hit by ability, you gain a stack of rebuke. I believe this is the same passive as well. But it's just getting different things. I think it's adding physical power. I don't really know what it was looking like before. 300 health, 50 physical power, 35 physical protections, 35 magical protections, and then same passive it looks like as well. War Flag is being updated to provide protections. Okay, cool. So they're removing 30 physical power and 60 magical power, and then adding 40 physical protections and 40 magical protections. I think that's overall better, because it's still a support item, so you want to be a lot tankier, and I'd rather have 40 protections than, 30 power, pretty much on anybody, any day. Boomba's Hammer, it decreased physical power from 10 to 7, and magical power from 15 to 12. Doesn't seem too crazy. I guess Boomba's was overperforming. Mannequins no longer does 4 times burn damage to jungle bosses, including Jungle Scorpion. Okay, so that was overperforming, so it's not going to be as good for killing jungle bosses. Will now do the 1 times damage to those targets like it does to gods. That's unfortunate, but I mean, Mannequins is still great. Leather Cowl decreased MP5 from 5 to 7, so Leather Cowl was doing too good, and Lifesteal from 10 to 7. And then attack speed from 20 to 15, and decreased attack speed aura from 25 to 20. So just nerfed all around on that. Prydwen. Oh, I hope Prydwen's not getting nerfed. It looks like it's getting buffed. Sweet. Prydwen now provides scales based on protections from items. No longer includes base protections. No longer includes base protections. Okay, so the passive is getting stronger. Increased shield health scaling from protections from 100% to 125%. Decreased magical damage scaling from... increased magical damage scaling from shield health from 50 to 75%. I like Prydwen. I think it's a very good item. It feels sort of weak in some situations, just because, 30 of each protections isn't really great, but it's a nice kind of hybrid thing. If you use your ultimate a lot as a guardian, and you need a little bit cooldown without wanting to go, maybe the physical cooldown item, what is it, Breastplate of Valor? So I really like picking up Prydwen, and I'm glad it's getting a little bit of a buff to its passive. That's very neat. Spectral Armor, this item no longer reduces damage from magical critical strikes. I think that's fair. There's really only one person who can do that. This affects Oleron and mages or guardians hitting a target. It's affected by Failnot's passive effect. Okay, interesting. I guess just a quality of life to Spectral Armor. Tiamat decreased percent mitigations, gets from the ability-based value from 30% to 25%. On the Primordial Onslaught, decreased magical power scaling from 35 to 30% per hit. Tiamat's really strong, so that makes sense. She's getting some nerfs. Raijin decreased magical power scaling from 50% per shot to 40% per shot, giving a 40% reduction in scaling on it. So Raijin's also doing pretty good. Nature's Bounty decreased level where it upgrades from 20 to 17. The RNG passive is gone, and the passive... So this is... Nature's Bounty is his passive, right? So this ability now upgrades at level 17 along with support starter items. Oh, that's really cool. Sylvanas is getting his passive buffed. So I thought Sylvanas was performing quite well. I guess he wasn't. Charybdis! Increased physical power from 34 to 38. Increased damage on the triple shot from 33 to 40%. That's nice. Charybdis was... I think Charybdis is cool. Not very strong. Just from what I've experienced. Decreased the item damage reduction from 35 to 30. Increased damage being increased from 65 to 70. Okay, a little bit of a change for Raging Tide. Spike Shot has some increased base scaling from 60 to minions to 80%. So that's kind of nice for early game push and whatnot. Increased splinter damage from 10% to 15%. She gets this damage on direct hits of enemy gods as well as bouncing projectiles. Charybdis' ultimate now moves freely in all directions while in her ultimate state. Okay, so just a bunch of buffs to Charybdis. Let's see what that'll do for her. Wild Hunt, that is Kernonos' ultimate, now deals damage to minions in jungle camps and bosses. That's kind of nice. A little bit more PvP oriented. Overflow, so Oleron increase the damage dealt on the sequential hits from 30% less damage to 20% less damage. A little bit of buff on Oleron as well. Oh, Vulcan's getting a decreased cooldown on Earthshaker. That's really good. If you can hit Vulcan's ultimate, that's fucking amazing. It's kind of hard to hit, but I also don't play too much Vulcan. But that'll be a nice quality of life change for him. It's a really strong ultimate ability, though, so that's a little worrisome. This is probably my favorite change that I was seeing post or pre-patch. When you hit Noxious Fumes and you get the stun, it has bonus damage associated with it. 20 to 100 base damage and 20% magical power scaling. That'll be really cool. One of my big issues with Agni is he just feels like he does no damage sometimes. Which kind of sucks because Agni's fucking great. He's a cool god, but it's just, you know, if you're not kind of fed, it feels awful from behind. So that's nice. Decreased mana cost on Flame Wave. You know, Agni doesn't have too many mana problems because his ultimate doesn't cost any mana. Oh, I guess. Scratch that. His ultimate increased mana cost from 0 to 10. That makes a little bit more sense then. Okay, so they're giving this a little bit mana per cost, which tends nothing. And they're decreasing the mana cost on Flame Wave. Interesting. Mulan. I fucking love Mulan. Decreased skill requirement. This is a very nice quality of life change. I feel like most games you're not able to get that full or just upgrade her abilities because you typically want to go a little bruiser-esque. And it's hard to get the scaling on everything. So sword, spear, decreased. The bow and arrow, it's easy to get the scaling on that. Because you just got to land a couple hits. But with the sword and spear, it's hard getting them powered up. And you really want to get powered up to the second stage before you start popping off. Increased skill gain from minions 20% to 30% towards all abilities. That's very nice too. So just overall she's having an issue getting to the top range of her abilities being leveled up. So they're giving her increased scaling versus minions. And they're decreasing the requirements to get those powered up effects on Mulan. I think that's very nice. Mulan, I think, is a very, very strong in Joust, though. So I don't know how good this is gonna be for. I think she was already good, so this is just a nice buff. Amaterasu increased the bonus power from Valor Aura from. So it's just a little bit base, 10 to 14, and then it scales all the way up to 30 on all of them. So just a little bit of early game stuff going on. Increased self-mitigations while charging this ability from 3 to 15 to 7 to 15. That's really nice too, because it didn't feel like you did too much early game with the mitigations on it. Achilles increased dodge damage from 50 to 190 to 60 to 200. That's nice. That's nice. Achilles is very strong already. Just some nice quality of life things. New skin voice actors. And then all of these have new voice actors. I don't really know any of these people, so not really super important to me. Post Pts Balance. So this is some of the stuff they balance after the Pts. Decreased ability damage on jungle camp structures and jungle bosses from 50 additional to 35. I guess this was just blowing up things too much. Increased cost from 600 to 650 on the Warding Sigil starter. So when we were talking about that earlier, just go back. It's increased by 50 gold. And then decreased movement speed from 20 to 40% to 25% at all ranks. So that's a pretty heavy nerf this ability in the upper starts, but at the beginning of the game, you'll be a little bit stronger. Decreased claw damage physical power scaling from 95 to 85. Fixed an issue where she could be put into a broken animation state if she got hit by a knock-up while dashing. Okay, that's a nice quality of life thing then. And fixed an issue where the initial burst was dealing rank 1 damage regardless of the rank. Increased base damage of burst from 150 to 650 to 150 to 450. I guess the ultimate was just doing too much damage. Really, really cool patch. Just the things that I kind of want to go back over. Agni change, I think, is really cool. A lot of god buffs, very few god nerfs, which is nice. It looks like just Raijin and Tiamat were nerfed. And then a couple items, a couple item changes. Cool things that I just kind of want to go over is that Agni thing. The Soul one, I think Soul's very good in Joust. So not getting that heat on immune targets is going to be a thing you got to keep an eye out for. And then just the bonus XP spooling for Joust. I think that's going to be awesome. I really, really would like to hit level 20 in some of these games. So you can, take advantage of those starter items. And it's not just kind of a whatever match, Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.